Boys, remember that London Docks map from World War II?
Yes.
Fantastic. And it got leaked. It's coming back to Call of Duty Vanguard. Let's pull up that tweet. This is from COD Insider, the MW2 Ghost. Just some small bits to share. I've been told the London Docks from World War II is apparently coming to Vanguard as a Season 1 DLC, 1 or 2, I think, as well as a World War II version of a very fan-favorite map from a very iconic COD game. Can't share what that map is just yet, though. Ooh. I honestly don't mind remakes. He's the COD Ghost, bro. He's scary.
Yeah.
They usually remake the maps that are good from all old CODs, and IMO maps, newer CODs just aren't good, man. Maybe it's because I stopped playing COD after MW3, but I haven't had those remakes as much as some of you, but a good map is a good map.
Yeah, exactly. There hasn't been a map after Black Ops 3 that even been like memorable to me.
So, totally.
The remasters are gonna make the game so much better for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this, me in the studio with the EpECenter guys, and I know that we have some of our picks because this, obviously London Docks was cool. London Docks was a very fun and entertaining game, and very, close quarters was crazy. Any domination, search, and destroy was nuts. You were getting attacked from all sides at all times, and you had to get good really quick because that map was crowded. It's going to be fun to have back. But it's that brand new iconic map from an iconic game that's coming back, and we all have our picks. So let's start with Sawyer. What are your picks for the iconic COD maps that might be getting brought back this year?
All right, so for my iconic ones, I had to throw in an old school classic Dome from World at War. That was just a great one because you're in Germany. It's so much fun. Then Resistance from MW3. I feel like that would be a great tie-in because, it's in Paris.
Yeah.
The map's called Resistance. The French did a lot of resisting in World War II after the Germans came in, obviously. And it's just be a great backdrop for a map. And you could change those buildings up and make them look old school.
So, actually, fun fact, me and Sawyer took an AP US history class before this, and we learned a lot about the French Revolution. So
yeah. And then I got Afghan from MW2, just because...
Afghan was a great map.
Yeah, it's a great map.
Afghan is one of the classics.
It was so slept on.
You can snipe on it. Close quarters. You can do so much.
I remember the first time getting up on that plane ring.
Oh,
It was...
Dude, it was it was similar to Rust in the close quarters, like dusty setting, but you just had a little more space to work around. You had, like you're saying, you could snipe a lot better from there. You could quick scope in Rust, but you couldn't, hit something long range at all. And I like all those picks. Eunice, what were your selections this time around?
My selections was Rush from Black Ops 2.
Beautiful.
Which I just found out is actually in Cold War.
Ooh.
I didn't know that. But also Carrier, which is one of the classics from Black Ops 2. It was
such a classic.
Close quarters.
Carrier was great.
And it was like just an SMG map, and I love SMGs. And also Grid from Black Ops 1. That was one of the classics from Black Ops 1.
Yeah, when you sent that in our group chat saying Grid, it took me a second, and then when I looked up the pictures, I just had flashbacks to Grid.
Yes.
I was like, I so remember this.
Dude.
All the little RCXD shortcuts you could take.
Man.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, Grid was amazing.
Grid was freaking fantastic, man. I loved playing Grid. And then let's go to my picks real quick. Let me be a little selfish real quick. But I picked Skid Row from MW2 only because of the turret gun. Oh my gosh.
There's always one guy that would just camp that the whole game.
Yeah, he'd have Claymore set up on the ladders. He had Claymore set up on the ladders, and his partner was near the hallway shooting at you. I loved playing Skid Row because there were two turret guns, and it was really... It went from open to close quarters like in a matter of seconds. Like you could be in a firefight with guys from across the building and then run inside and be in a stairwell shooting at guys. Terminal from MW2 I think would be a great World War II themed map. Oh my gosh, I can imagine exactly what they would do with this. They'd make all like the old planes, like maybe like a factory because everything got converted in World War II to like make ammo and shipments and stuff. And then lastly, Underground from MW3, which is a very underrated map. And I think with the new technology they have, like in MW3, I'm assuming they just didn't have the processing power to put a lot of moving objects in. Like, they got vehicles and things like Warzone now. I'd love to see some moving trains, like maybe a train's departing, or you have shipments coming in and out. And so you're on a train and all of a sudden it starts moving. Or you're on a train and, it's filled with cargo and you find an ammo box in there. Or, it blows up because you don't know that you're shooting at a train full of grenades that are being used for the war. So, there's always that. And lastly, we got a lot of guys that are, great contributors. Kareem Devanzo, who's one of our new interns, Adam's cousin. Adam Baydoun, who you know from being an absolute god at betting. And then Justin Slanik, who is probably the reason this network runs at all. This guy's like the graphics goat. Shout out to him. He's always in our comments, too. Adam picked Bonsai from World at War. Kareem picked Castle from World at War. And then Justin picked Firing Range from Black Ops 1, which I thought was a little weird.
Really? Oh, I think all three of those maps are fantastic. Yeah. So Castle was really fun, too, with the open courtyard. You can, see around it. It got really close quarters. And then Firing Range is just OG.
Yeah, Firing Range is one of those maps where you could just play, a 24/7 playlist and just play it for, an entire night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't a big World at War guy, I'll be honest. That was the one that I kind of missed. I just didn't play I wasn't allowed to have war games. I wasn't allowed to have war games, so I only could play them when I was at my friend's house.
Yeah.
And so my cousin had MW2, MW3, and I believe Black Ops 1 for a very short time.
Okay.
Another one that I didn't want to mention was Interchange, which is in MW3, but the city planning nerd inside of me was like, well, the freeway system was actually invented in 1962. So I'm like, okay, you lame bitch. Way to ruin it for yourself.